Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News Edition. Here are the top stories. The President of the Republic received a high-level delegation from the Japan-Djibouti Friendship Association. Celebration of the World Human Rights Day. And for the international news, the UN General Assembly calls for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire in Gaza. Welcome to our newsroom, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned on the title, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, this morning received a large delegation from the Japan-Djibouti Friendship Association at the Republic's Palace. The delegation was led by Mr. Tetsuro Yano, President of the Japan Association of the Economic Development of Africa. The meeting was held in the context of strengthening the historic bilateral relation between the Republic of Djibouti and Japan and exploring ways and means of further strengthening the ties between the two countries. Discussion between the head of state and the head of the Djibouti-Japan Friendship Association covered a range of subjects of common interest, including economic development, Japanese investment, cooperation in the field of maritime security, as well as cultural exchanges and capacity building in areas such as trade, infrastructures, culture, education, and technological innovation. During the meeting, Mr. Yano reiterated his determination to work towards strengthening economic and trade ties between Japan and Djibouti. The President praised the association's constant efforts to promote the mutual interest of the two countries. The president of the Japanese Association for the Economy and Development of Africa, Mr. Yano, expressed his satisfaction with the meeting with the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, saying that the Japanese delegation had discussed a number of projects implemented by the Japanese government in Djibouti, including the Palmere Bridge. The president of the Japan-Djibouti Friendship Association recalled that the Japan-Djibouti Friendship Association was created almost a year ago, thanks to fruitful cooperation between the ambassador for the two countries, and that during this short period we have carried out numerous projects aimed at strengthening the partnership between the two countries. The Japanese ambassador to the Republic of Djibouti indicated that the visit of the Japanese delegation is part of the promotion and strengthening of this cooperation, and the Japan-Djibouti Friendship Association has played a central role in the development of a multidisciplinary relation between the two countries. And for his part, the Djibouti's ambassador to Japan did not fail to recall the importance of the role played by the Japan-Djibouti Friendship Association in these matters. Another news now, World Human Rights Day was celebrated today at the Palace, the People's Palace, under the patronage of His Excellency Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, Prime Minister of the Republic of Djibouti. Under the theme, Our Rights, Our Future Now, this commemoration was organized by the National Human Rights Commission, CNDH, chaired by Mr. Ali Soubani Ateh, in collaboration with the Ministry of Justice. The event brought together members of the government, parliamentarians, representatives of the United Nations system, and civil society players. The diversity of the participants reflect the collective commitment to the promotion and defense of human rights. This event marks a significant milestone in the national, international mobilization to ensure that human rights are at the heart of the agenda. The president of the National Human Rights Commission noted that the commission had made great efforts to promote and improve human rights in Djibouti. For his part, the Minister of Justice, responsible for human rights, expressed his satisfaction at taking part in the commemoration of the International Human Rights Day. For his part, the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, indicated that this event marks a significant milestone in the national and international mobilization to ensure the human rights are at the heart of the agenda in the Republic of Djibouti. And this morning, as part of ongoing effort to strengthen the national economy and promote inclusive growth, Prime Minister His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed met with Mr. Yusuf Musa Dawali, President of the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce. The meeting follows Mr. Dawali's reappointment as head of the Chamber of Commerce for the third consecutive term, testifying to the economic renewed confidence in his leadership. During the meeting, the Prime Minister praised the ongoing commitment of private operators to invest in strategic sectors such as logistics, renewable energy, information technology, and vocational training. He stressed that these investments not only promote economic diversification but also help to reduce unemployment, particularly among young people and women. This meeting marks an important step in the consolidation of the partnership between the government and the private sector. It reaffirms the shared objective of building a resilient economy focused on the creation of added value and the fulfillment of every citizen. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, as candidate for the presidency of the African Union Commission, held a series of strategic meetings in Addis Ababa, marking a decisive stage in his campaign. At the embassy, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf held an important meeting with the key AU partners, including representatives from the United States, the European Union, the United Kingdom, Turkey, China, India, Japan, South Korea, Russia, Switzerland, Canada, Brazil, the World Bank, and the United Nations, as well as observers, members, France, Portugal, Luxembourg, the Arab League, Belgium, Germany. The candidate was accompanied by eminent personality, including His Excellency Abdi Mohamed Haibe, Djibouti Ambassador to Ethiopia, Madam Fatihah Jamauddin, Advisor to the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Mohamed Idris Farah, and His Excellency Gayle Idris Omar, both ambassadors. Mohamed Ali Yusuf expressed his gratitude to the African Union's partners and friends on the ongoing support. During the discussion, he presented his ambitious vision for Africa, articulated around the objectives of Agenda 2063. In a spirit of dialogue and understanding, the candidate minister also met the ambassador of the countries of the allies of Sahel states, namely Mali, Burkina Faso, Sudan, currently suspended from the AU. During the meeting, Mr. Mohamed Ali Yusuf favored a listening approach while exploring legal solutions for reintegrating these countries into the Pan-African organization in compliance with the established rule. Finally, the minister met with the representative of the African Union Commission staff who shared their concern with him, and he assured them that employee welfare would be a top priority of his mandate should be win. This initiative testified to the determination and vision of His Excellency Mohamed Ali Yusuf to make the African Union an even more effective, inclusive, and forward-looking institution. It should be mentioned that RTD is closely following this campaign and is lending its support to the candidate, given the importance of this nomination for the country and the African continent in general. Djibouti's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, His Excellency Mohamed Ali Yusuf, candidate for the presidency of the African Union Commission, visited the African Union headquarters to prepare for the thematic debate on the African agenda, which will take place tomorrow evening. His Excellency Mohamed Ali Yusuf was accompanied by the other two candidates in the running who took part in a coordination session to check the final details of this important event. The visit also included a guided tour of iconic location at the African Union headquarters, including the multi-purpose hall where the debate will be held in the iconic Nelson Mandela Hall. The three candidates were given detailed briefing on the debate to ensure that they are fully prepared for this historic meeting. His Excellency Mohamed Ali Yusuf was accompanied by a number of prominent Djiboutian dignitaries, including His Excellency Abdullah Mohamed Ebi, Djibouti's ambassador to Ethiopia, Mr. Fatima Jamauddin, an advisor to the President of the Republic, as well as His Excellency Mohamed Idris Farah and His Excellency Geli Idris Omar, both ambassadors.
Reporting from the African Union's headquarters here in Addis Ababa. The stage is set, as you can see, for the much anticipated tomorrow night's Majala Africa debate, arriving at 7 p.m. This virtual event will gather millions of viewers across the continent as three leading candidates share their visions for Africa's future. Moderated by a panel of experienced journalists and African thought leader, the debate promises to be insightful and impactful. Stay tuned for RTD for exclusive updates, in-depth analysis, and live coverage as Africa's future takes the spotlight. Dini Musa, Addis Ababa.
As concerned this debate, it will be broadcasted on our channels tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. from the African Union headquarters with the presence of Mohamed Ali Yusuf. And this Ankara declaration of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the Federal Republic of Somalia, facilitated by the Republic of Turkey through its President, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan, welcomed Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, and His Excellency Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, yesterday, 11 December 2024, in Ankara. The meeting, which took place in a cordial atmosphere, provided an opportunity for frank and constructive discussion. The leaders of Somalia and Ethiopia reaffirmed their respect for and commitment to each other's sovereignty, unity, independence, and territorial integrity, as well as to the principles enshrined in international law, the United Nations Charter, and the Constitutive Act of African Union. They further agreed to work closely together to finalize mutually beneficial trade arrangements. They decided to enter in good faith into technical negotiation for these purposes no later than the end of February 2025. They welcomed Turkey's assistance in the implementation of this commitment and undertook to resolve any differences concerning their interpretation and application through dialogue and in peaceful manner with Turkey's support if necessary. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, His Excellency Mr. Mustafa Mohamed Mahamoud, took part in the Continental Conference on Education, Youth and Employability, which was held from 9 to 11 December 2024 in Nouakchott, Mauritania. The details with Aisha.
Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, participated in the Continental Conference on Education, Youth, and Employability, which took place from 9th to 11th December 2024 in Nouakchott, Mauritania. This Continental Conference, which was also attended by senior officials of the Ministry, the Director General of Planning and Data, the Director General of ICT Development, and the Director General of QUIPEN, is part of the exchanges on the necessary reforms for African education systems to prepare youth for the demand of the 21st century. Organized by the African Union and UNICEF in close collaboration with the Mauritanian government, this conference, under the theme Educating and Qualifying Africa for the 21st Century, brought together heads of states, some 30 ministers in charge of education, international experts, as well as a representative of international organizations. The first day of the conference was devoted to preparatory work, bringing together ministers in charge of education, experts, and key actors in education. Participants assessed the progress made in education reforms in Africa and emphasized the need for innovative and sustainable solutions to ensure equitable and quality education. The need for an additional $40 billion investment in education in Africa, which represents 90% of the world's external financing needs by 2030, was highlighted. In parallel with the plenary sessions, a thematic session allowed ministers, experts, and participants to exchange on topics such as curricula, teachers, ICT, the resilience of education system to crisis, natural disaster, as well as the importance of training. During his intervention in the panel on financing, the education minister did not fail to share the considerable efforts made by Djibouti to strengthen the education system. He pointed out that the government has increased domestic funding for education, which accounts for 4% of GDP. Flagship initiatives include the revision of curricula and textbooks, the development of preschool education, the improvement of infrastructure, particularly in rural areas, the development of innovation, as well as the recruitment and training of teachers. The conference was also enriched by exhibition booths highlighting educational innovation and the screening of a moving video capturing the aspiration of children, young people, as well as teachers from across the continent. The event symbolizes a step toward a prosperous and resilient Africa where education is essential for sustainable development and the empowerment of youth.
Continuing its participation in the work of the Continental Conference in Education, the Djibouti delegation, led by Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, continues to shine in discussion on African educational issues.
In its participation in the work of the Continental Conference on Education, the Djiboutian delegation, led by the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, continued to distinguish itself in the discussions on Africa educational issues. Under the theme Educating and Training Africa for the 21st Century, this conference brought together the main actors of education on the continent, including 4 heads of state, presidents of Senegal, Rwanda, Algeria, Mauritania, as well as the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Moussa Faki Mohamed. The 4 African leaders put forward a common vision based on inclusion, solidarity, and equality, while recalling that education is an essential lever to offer a promising future to African youth. The chairperson of the African Union Commission stressed in his speech that education is the pillar of sustainable development for Africa. As for the Minister of National Education, Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, he presented in a panel the resilient education system of Djibouti as a model adapted to the unique challenges of the region while preparing young people for a promising future.
IGAD adopts regional food and nutrition security strategy, an important step towards regional resilience. This strategy, which is aligned with international regional frameworks, reflects IGAD's commitment to meeting the various challenges posed by climate change, economic shocks, and natural disasters that threaten food security in the region. His Excellency Mohamed Abdi, Deputy Executive Secretary of IGAD, on behalf of the Executive Secretary, inaugurated the event alongside the Minister of Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Halieutic Resources, His Excellency Mohamed Ahmed Awale. The Regional Food and Nutrition Security Strategy aims to strengthen emergency response and recovery mechanism, improve disaster preparedness and agricultural trade capacities, and promote gender-inclusive approaches while empowering vulnerable population, particularly women and young people. A thorough review process, including consultation and validation in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, ensured validation of the strategy, October 2024.
IGAD, with funding from the World Bank, is implementing a seven-year program on food systems resilience for Eastern and Southern Africa. The program development objective is to increase resilience of food systems and preparedness for food security in the participating countries. The Agriculture and Environment Division of IGAD is central to IGAD's mandate, vision, mission, and leads the efforts of the authority in leading the implementation of agricultural resilience building, including this program supported by the World Bank. The FSRP program is built on 4 pillars: building resilience, supporting the sustainable development of natural resources, getting to the markets, and promoting a greater focus on food systems resilience at the regional level.
The Minister of Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Fishery Resources of Djibouti, His Excellency Mohammed Ahmed Awale, stressed in his speech that this builds on the success of the 2020 and 2022 strategy. To mark World Climate Day, CERD's Observatoire Régional for Research on the Environment and Climate organized a major event to mobilize the younger generation around climate issues from December 8th to 12th. A marathon of events and awareness-raising activities on the theme of climate, soil, and biodiversity was held for a young audience of high school and university students. Today, December 12th, marks the 5th day of the event, marked by strong participation of young people and highlighting their crucial role in environmental initiative. Activities led by OREC researchers resonated with participants who became aware of the interdependence between climate, soil, and biodiversity. The World Climate Day, organized by OREC, bears witness to the importance of intergenerational collaboration in building sustainable climate resilience. This Wednesday, December 11, Her Excellency, the Ambassador of the United States to Djibouti, Cynthia, accompanied by Public Affairs Officer David Kisling, arrived in Dikhil to take part in the launch ceremony of the Advanced Support Courses for Learning and Promoting the English Language in Dikhil project. On her arrival, the Ambassador was warmly welcomed by the Prefect of Dikhil region. The ambassador then had a productive meeting with the prefect and the president of the regional council, during which discussions were held on the importance of the project for the youth of Dikhil. Following this meeting, the official ceremony took place at the American Center for English Language Education in Dikhil, where guests attended to launch of the project funded by the U.S. Embassy in Djibouti under the NOFO program and implemented by the association Ankara 8. The president of the Regional Council of Dikhil said that the meeting highlighted the prospects for development through education and the opportunities offered by this program. For her part, the ambassador stressed the importance of education for the future of Dakhil's young people, and she welcomed the collaboration between the United States and the region of Dakhil. For the international news now, in Gaza, the UN General Assembly calls for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire. The details with Asha.
UN General Assembly on Wednesday overwhelmingly adopted a resolution calling for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire in Gaza, a symbolic gesture rejected by the United Nations and Israel. The resolution adopted by a vote urges an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire and the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. At that time, Washington used its veto power on the Council as it had before. Deputy U.S. Ambassador Robert Wood repeated that position Wednesday, saying it would be shameful and wrong to adopt the text. Ahead of the vote, Israel UN envoy Danny Danon said the resolution before the assembly today are beyond logic. The resolution, which is non-binding, demands immediate access to widespread humanitarian aid for the citizens of Gaza, especially in the besieged north of the territory. Thousands of representatives of the UN member states addressed the assembly before the vote to offer their support to the Palestinians.
Still, the international news, Africa needs climate justice, says Antonio Guterres.
Secretary General Antonio Guterres, visiting South Africa during its G20 presidency, delivered a strong message emphasizing the urgent need for climate justice for Africa. Guterres underscored the continent's immense potential, a youthful and growing population, rich cultural and natural diversity, and a robust entrepreneurial spirit which is being stifled by historical injustice rooted in colonialism. Africa needs climate justice, said Guterres. The continent stands on the front lines of the climate crisis. Despite contributing minimally to global emissions, climate change is devastating young people and economies. Africa is warming faster than the global average. We must limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius to prevent this crisis from escalating further, said Antonio Guterres. He did not fail to highlight the significance of South Africa's G20 presidency as a critical juncture to address these issues.
This is it for this news edition. Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for more on RTD.